Y'all drink tonic water? Cheers. Before, turning 40 years old seemed to be a life-defining moment approaching that middle age. Then we all dragged that age range down to around the 30 to 35 mark as the internet became a bigger and bigger part of our lives. And now you've lived at the prime of your life by the time you're 20. But why did it become this way? Was there a specific person or group of people that implanted this idea within our minds? And what serious implications do these jokes have on us? At the root of it all, I believe that it lies within a single sentiment: the illusion of immortality. Before the heyday of the digital age, you'd only be able to interact with your favorite movies and TV shows through reruns of the media, or one-off conversations that you would have with someone else that's from your generation. Kind of like how millennials won't shut the fuck up about The Lion King. We get it. It was a really good movie, but it was 32 years ago. It's time to move on, don't you think? There was a set expiration date on media. Eventually, you would move on to more varied and matured content as you grew older. But when blogging, vlogging, and videos like this replaced legacy media, kids weren't coming home and watching SpongeBob after school. They were coming home to watch, well, this.
See him, I see him.
There he is, there he is, there he is.
I'm the haunting ghost of the masturbating fisherman.
Look, I'm not here to be the fun police because I've watched a lot of this content myself. Hell, I've even made a lot of it too.
Of course, I'm getting another phone call again. And they just scored! Oh.
The point that I'm trying to make is that because these videos remain eternally accessible and constantly produced, which, by the way, every minute that YouTube is online, 500 hours of content is pushed to the platform, people aren't forced to move on. Couple this with a subculture of memes and online bubbles, and you can have communities that can grow and thrive in environments where they otherwise wouldn't have. This attachment to media that we've consumed when we're young makes us demonize what's traditionally seen as mature. Ergo, we hate old people. Because old people represents what's past this media. And it doesn't help that they, in part, demonize us for having new things. Our disdain for them just grows stronger and stronger. Okay, this is cool and all, but who even watches gameplay videos anymore? Walkthroughs, tutorials, tips and tricks, top fives, all that shit is outdated. What it's really all about is...
You know Ronaldo's the GOAT. You're the GOAT too. No, I don't like Messi, bro.
I think the reason why, because the guy touched on it.
Remember when everyone couldn't shut up about the McDonald's CEO taking a Japanese schoolgirl bite out of the big arch? Nearly weeks later, we're back to gorging on Uber Eats. Because of the continued degradation of our attention spans, our care or urgency towards topics, good or bad, continue to get divided. You have YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and tweets are limited to 280 characters. Your opinions, values, and anything else of such begins to get reduced to small, bite-sized content. With all of this constant bombardment, how could you possibly give something of substance sustained focus? I believe this creates a subconscious craving to constantly move from topic to topic, scouring for something fresh instead of sustained attention. People back in the day used to go up in arms into the streets, protesting for what they sought to be right, demanding the government for change. And now we upload black squares on our Instagram. Now, this isn't me being against what these particular movements are about. I'm just trying to demonstrate a lack of effectiveness towards achieving their goals. We then begin to categorize people by the media that they've grown up with or have been around by virtue of their age. Oh, you played Mario 64? Unk status. You watched most of your shows on TV? Unk status. You remember when gas was just $1 per liter? Unk status. That last one hurt a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Now this is the part of the video where I most likely lose everyone. If not, I've already lost everyone. And the point being is that death in our generation doesn't exist. See, because we've seen all these institutions fall from grace, because the veil has been metaphorically pulled, and we see the machine that makes the sausage we are all supposed to enjoy, we now feel apathetic towards life. We want to drift into something else that takes us away from reality. Because why would you want to be immersed in reality when your degree won't get you a job? When the government doesn't serve your interests? And when the wealthiest of the wealthy control all of your life's hardships? Why would you, under any circumstance, want to grow up? Why wouldn't you want to just eternally stay a child? It's so alluring. All of this infatuation with these insular hobbies and such, they make it such that we don't want to grow up because we despise what age is. Because we've been told our whole life that age is just getting a job, getting a family, committing to certain things, building a career. And we hate building a career. Because we don't even feel like we're given an honest shot. Back in the day, you could just get a degree and you could survive and give your family all the opportunities that they needed. Back then, quote unquote, the American dream, the Canadian dream, whatever that first world dream was, that guarantee of upward mobility from your lower middle class status was actually something that could have happened for the average person. And this manifests in certain jokes that we have as a generation. You know, I'm sure you've seen these videos of people making skits talking about when your mom tries to kick you out of the house and tell you to get a job, but you're just trying to enjoy your 10th gap year. And although these are exaggerated scenarios, it's not like they don't happen. And it's not like it comes from nowhere. There's ultimately a little bit of truth to it. The truth being that Gen Z is afraid to grow up. I don't want to lock into a career right now. I'm just gonna do me. And when I need to, I will. Because that plan, that process of actually adulting is always further down the road. And the only thing that forces us to confront it is time. Because eventually, even if you don't want to make decisions, time will bring you towards them and force you to choose. And people, through the nature of this economy and this job market, are being forced to choose sooner. Before, in movies and in media, 30 years old was considered comically embarrassing to not have your life together. Now the younger generation has interpreted this as 23. And sure, you can argue that people who make these jokes or push these sentiments are immature, but they're still there. They still wear an effect on people. And I see it within my family, I see it within my friends. My cousins who are as young as 13 are thinking about job security and whether they are going to be viable in this economic market past their degree. They're having anxieties that I'm now having, only having 1 year until I graduate. So all that you see from what is beyond you in the future is just struggle and pain. So why would you want to grow up? Why would you want to embrace the identity of being an adult? So people project their own insecurities onto people who are only 22 years old, who are 23 years old, because they don't have the answers either. They just think that those before them should have it figured out. And in this coping mechanism, they don't realize that they themselves are going to reach that age in only a couple years. Don't call anyone old. You're headed there yourself. I'm 22 right now. I'm going to blink and one day I'm going to be 28. Close to my 30s. And that's how time is. So don't mock it.